welcome to kind of a new little angle I thought I might do just for you guys for this little video. Today we're going to be looking at a few hidden gems on the PlayStation Portable, or the PSP for short. So, one that I definitely would like to get out of the way first is I'm also going to look at a few import games, some Japanese stuff obviously, and a few American titles as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and show four. Let's look at this one first. First one I want to talk about is this one, Guilty Gear Judgment. Get a better focus here. Yeah, so nice lighting right there. A very different take on the whole Guilty Gear series. In fact, it's a 2D side-scroller beat-em-up game. And it also includes Guilty Gear X2, the Midnight Carnival #Reloaded. Or Reload, excuse me. So this game technically has two different games in one, but the main focus is Guilty Gear Judgment, which is a 2D side-scroller beat-em-up. The really cool part about this game is that there are a total of 20 playable characters for the beat-em-up, and I believe 23 for the 2D fighting game. So, and each character has a different storyline, and also you can tell how each character story progresses, how their side of the story is told and whatnot. A very unique game for the Guilty Gear series. I like playing the Guilty games every now and then. They're very different fighting games that are not, in the mainstream, like in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Also, the King of Fighters is getting a new game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, very fun game. Definitely check it out. Thankfully, it's pretty cheap, I believe. I think around like the $10–15 range you can pick this up and whatnot. So yeah. So yeah, definitely check out Guilty Gear Judgment. Okay, so another game we can try to think about is another American game before we get on to the Japanese stuff. A little bit dusty here on the shelf. This one right here. Phantasy Star Portable. This was, I believe, my first ever Phantasy Star game I ever played, and it was a game that really changed how I looked at RPGs, honestly, because it was the first one that I remember as a kid that it kind of played the similar style of Final Fantasy 12, I think it was. The one where you can move around as you're doing command. I think that was 12, I believe, which was, I believe, the last. Which is, I think, the last Final Fantasy on PS2? I think so, yeah. And with this game, you get to create your own character and basically go through the entire world of, what is there? Garheil system? Yeah, the Garheil system. I have not played this in forever, but this is a very, very different take on the entire Guilty Gear series. Guilty Gear, excuse me, on Phantasy Star, sorry. So, and I absolutely love the inner artwork, which I will show in a minute. I love the interior art. Love that. It looks great. That's one thing that I miss about certain games nowadays. Some of them don't include interior art, which kind of sucks, but then again, oh well. But, here's the front. The back. There also is a sequel, Guilty Gear. I'm on the title of Guilty Gear again, I'm sorry. Phantasy Star Portable 2. That one is, unfortunately, it's pretty expensive. It's one of the very few PSP games that is actually really expensive. But, yeah, very cool. This, you can pick it up for fairly cheap. I believe like 15 bucks, I think, is the absolute most I'd say you can find for. I think I've even seen some for 20, maybe. But yeah, very, very cool game. And of course, there also are multiple endings for the game, so it has a lot of replayability, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check out Phantasy Star Portable. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some Japanese stuff. Let's see, what's a really good one to take a look at. Sure, I'll take a look at that one here. Now, I personally don't really play visual novels that much, but this one I had to make an exception for because this is based on my favorite anime of all time, hands down. Like, it's the anime that got me back into anime. And I'm, of course, talking about Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, Lost Colors, a visual novel game. This takes place during the first season of Code Geass. I believe this was released just as the first season, what I believe was getting into, the last bit, if not in the middle. I want to say near the end of season 1. But you play as a character, God, I forget his name. think Nero, I believe is his name, or something like that, or Zero, something like that. I think it might be Nero. You play as a character, and I think, like I said, named Nero. I will put like an annotation or a subtitle saying, yeah, this is the character's real name or whatever. And he has the power of Geass as well. And you start to uncover like who you are and how you got the power of Geass. And it also kind of has a bit of relationship status to it, where you can kind of romance other characters. I have of course already beaten the game. I found someone who translated the entire game into English via screenshots and whatnot, so that helped me out through the game a lot. So, and depending on what choices you make affect how the story unfolds. So it's got a lot of replayability, in fact, and every single character that's in the Japanese dub of Code Geass is in this game. You even have like a little cast list right there. So very cool game. One of the very few visual novel games that really made me like really get involved with the story. You know, it's a great game when you get emotionally attached to characters, and Code Geass for that is no exception. I got a lot of emotional attachment to a lot of the characters in the anime, especially when Lelouch dies. Supposedly dies in season 2. Spoiler alert. But it turns out he doesn't actually die or whatever. So pretty cool on that one. So again, spoilers right there. Sorry about that. But yeah, very awesome cover. You got Lelouch, Lamperouche or V Britannia in his zero outfit, the gorgeous C2 or CC, Susaku Kudarugi, and Colin Strifield with them anime titties. And of course on the back you have some screenshots from the gameplay. So it's all visual novel-ish, so it is a very awesome story. If you can find a site that has the entire game translated into English, like via screenshots or just the entire game in general, like a ROM hack or whatever, there was someone who was doing a English patch for the game, but unfortunately that was not even halfway done. I think it was like a quarter of the way done, and the guy abandoned the project. So this unfortunately is never going to get a US translation, which really sucks. But yeah, you can find this game relatively cheap. I think 20 bucks I've seen it go for. I bought mine for like 20, so at a MetroCon. So if you're at your local anime convention and you see, or any convention in general, or any game shop, and they have this, definitely pick it up and try and find some English, walk through the game. So yeah, definitely check out Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, Lost Colors. Alright guys, so now we come to the final game for this little showcase. It was really hard trying to figure out what to really pick, but I think honestly, if I'm going to show any game series that is a hidden gem, you might as well show all the games from this particular series. So, and it's also, in my opinion, the most underrated game series of all time. So instead of looking at one game, we're going to look at 3, but I'm just going to briefly, talk about each one of them. And all 3 of them are right here. I'm of course talking about the Super Robot Taisen series. So currently I have 3 out of I think the 5 that are released on the PSP. I think maybe 6 I believe. But here we have Super Robot Taisen MX Portable, which is the PSP port of the PS2 version. Super Robot Taisen A Portable. There also is a PS2 version, hence why it's a portable. And finally the PSP exclusive Super Robot Taisen Z2. I believe this is, yes, as Z2. Very fun game. A lot of really awesome games here. Essentially, for those of you who do not know what the Super Robot Taisen series is, Super Robot Taisen series basically is, think of a bunch of iconic giant robots from any kind of anime you love, like Code Geass, Evangelion, Gunbuster, what's another one? Get a Robo, Gundam, Mazinger Z, and put them all in this game series. Yeah, to show up the first game cover right here, MX Portable. On the front cover we have some characters, like we have the Destiny Gundam, no sorry, that's the Zeta Gundam, that's Raiden or Raiden, Mazinger Z, we have Evangelion Unit 1 right there. Some of these I've never even watched the anime of, so some of these I do not know who they are, but very cool game. And thankfully, these are getting like more and more cheap, so very cool, very cool. What this is. complete also. And there's some of the in-game shows right there, footage right there. The entire game is mostly just text-based, and it's essentially a turn-based strategy RPG series, where most of the action unfolds via the attack cutscenes. You can pick what attack you want to do on a certain enemy, and depending on their armor determines on how much damage that attack will do, and of course also accuracy. So if the accuracy is really, really high, there's a really high percentage that you will in fact hit that enemy. But if the accuracy is low, then there's a really lower chance you'll get to hit the enemy. And these tend to be frustrating, which is kind of why I like to play them. Thankfully, they're really easy to pick up and play because it's turn-based strategy RPG. It's figuring out what to do for certain missions that is the hard part. And I think that's why I love the game series so much. Here's a portable. Here we have Shin Robo, Burning Gundam. That's Raiden again. There's the new Gundam. I think that's Great Mazinger. And I think that's Combattler V and a few others. No, sorry, that's Combattler V. That's Combattler V and whatnot. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. Again, this one I think is a little higher in price than MX Portable. I got this at my anime convention for I think like 25 bucks or 22. Yeah, I think like 22 or 25 bucks. So pretty cheap right there for a really awesome game series, and a very underrated one. I'd also say again for like the third, fourth time now. And finally we have Z2. There, of course, is another one of this series. This one has all the season 1 robots of certain series. Like here we have the Gundam Axia. There's the Lancelot. There is, let's see what kind of, there's Mazinger Z. There's Dan Cougar. That's also another form of Dan Cougar. Why not? And also Gurren Lagann is right there too. So yeah, a lot of really cool robots around here. And of course, these are all the season 1 robots. So now Z, I believe there's also another one. I believe this is a Jingoku Hen, I think it is. Or it might be a different one, I'm pretty sure, yeah. This game was also released for the 20th anniversary of Super Robot Taisen. Now, the sequel has all the season 2 robots, so on the cover you'll see like the secondary forms or season 2 robots of certain animes. Like on the other cover you will see, God, what's it called? Lelouch's main nightmare frame from season 2 of Code Geass. You'll see the 00 Gundam, Great Mazinger, and I believe the super ultimate form of a Gurren Lagann and whatnot. So yeah, you'll see like a pretty different change. This one I believe was the most expensive one. I think this might have been like 30 bucks, I want to say. So, but thankfully it's slowly going down in price as the new games come out and whatnot. So definitely check this one out if you can find it for a decent price. In fact, take a look at all the Super Robot Taisen games. They're all incredibly fun, and most of them are relatively cheap except for some of the new ones. Those are all going for 50, 60, 70, even 80 bucks for a used copy. So I would say wait for the game series to come out, wait a couple months, and see if the price goes down to where you feel like, you know, that's a reasonable price and you feel like buying it. So yeah, definitely check out Super Robot Taisen, guys. It's a great game series. So yeah, definitely check it out. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up, and also if you're not already, subscribe to my YouTube page. And also if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more hidden gem videos, if you guys want to see it, definitely leave a comment or leave me a like. Say that, yeah, we definitely want to see, you know, another hidden gem video, maybe on like the PS2 or PS3. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed. Again, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And hope you guys all enjoyed. And sayonara.